Minister, are you concerned about political stability in the United Kingdom? Are there any economic lessons for you to learn from your government on how this is unfolding?
Well, first I would say to Liz Truss and to her family, on a personal level, I wish them well. I met with Liz Truss and shared a platform with her as Foreign Minister, myself as Prime Minister at the NATO Summit in Madrid, and then I met with Liz Truss in Kent on 2 days before the Queen's funeral recently, and I met members of her family as well. And this will be a very difficult time. We need to remember that these are real people we're talking about, and it would be very disappointing how her Prime Ministership has ended so soon. So on a personal level, I wish her well. I'm concerned about any delay that would occur to the Australia-UK free trade agreement. I had discussed with Prime Minister Truss the fast-tracking of that. We discussed trying to get it concluded before the end of this year to make sure that the appropriate parliamentary processes went through our respective parliaments. And I will, of course, speak to whoever it is that will become the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom about doing that. I must say I've been in office for 5 months. I've met with 2 British Prime Ministers so far, and I obviously will have contact with a third at some time when those issues are concluded. Here in Australia, my government is stable, is orderly, the adults are in charge, and I look forward to the handing down of our first budget by the Treasurer next Tuesday.
Minister, are there any lessons to learn from the British experience, though, in terms of the risk of spooking the markets with increased borrowing to pay for tax cuts?
I think there are lessons about making policy that is somewhat surprising. It's not appropriate for me to go into and comment on the internal policy-making processes of another government, another friendly government. I think people will have a look at what's happened there and draw their own conclusions, frankly. But I wish former Prime Minister Truss well in her future. Here in Australia, what my government is doing is having an orderly economic policy, social policy and environmental policy. Here today, the announcements are consistent with the policy that we took to the election, with a very clear mandate that we have to fix the mess that we inherited. The mess that we inherited was $1 trillion of debt, is not having an economic plan, a skills crisis, a crisis that means we inherited almost 1 million people waiting, the backlog for visas, a crisis with people being unable to get the staff that they need. When I met with business this morning at a breakfast, that was a common theme yet again here in Western Australia in particular. My government has a clear plan and program. We're implementing it, and you'll see more of that, not just next week, next Tuesday, but you'll see other measures as well as we go into next year.